ladies, and welcome back to my channel. This is Beth from Style at a Certain Age, and if you've landed on my video, today is Thursday. I film twice a week. Sunday is always about style, and Thursdays is kind of a mishmash, beauty, skincare, and you may notice I have a little bit of a different setup today because they say you can tell a man by his shoes and a woman by what's in her bag, but you can tell a world traveler by their suitcase. And I don't mean the big trunks that they used to carry in the years of No, today's world traveler, savvy one, can fit everything in a really nice compact luggage. And since I have travel on the brain, I'm headed to Boston on Sunday, and for those of you who are following me on Instagram, I have some Insta stories. I was invited by Boston University to speak to their undergrad advertising class and their MBA students, and then they also have a platform, it's called edX, which is it's a virtual classroom. So I'm speaking on the subject of social media influence. So I am pretty excited about that, so you can follow me along on Insta stories. But today I'm talking about travel, and I have a few travel tips that I have gleaned through the years, some that my mother gave me that I still use today. They're like 40 years old, those packing tips. And then on Sunday, which is about style, I'll share what I'm actually wearing to the airport and then some travel outfits. So are you ready to get into today's video? Because I have some fun tips. First off, you want to have the right suitcase, and the 360 spinner is amazing. Everybody knows that. Just makes your life very easy. They also have, suitcases also have features like a built-in charger for your phone or your computer. That's pretty cool. They also have scales that are built in the handle, so you can tell if you're really concerned about how much you have in there. In your suitcase, when we traveled overseas, at that time the weight limit was 70 pounds, and I always, the night before, I'd haul out my scale and weigh like 2 million times because you just couldn't be overweight, otherwise you're sorting through everything. They have luggage tags that are digital trackers, and you want to make sure also that inside they have the compression straps and then the divided sections, which makes it very easy to pack. There are also some handy tips when you're traveling for 1 week. So it's 1 hat, you have 2 shoes, you have 3 pants or skirts, you have 4 shirts, you have 5 socks, and you have 6 pairs of underwear. Another good packing tip is focus on one color palette, typically in a neutral, black or gray. And then, so I have black and white here, and then you can bring in a pop of color with your shoes or a scarf or any little accessory like that. But it just makes your mixing and matching that much easier, especially if it's a longer trip. Another good packing tip is separating your I call them activity kits. So like if you're going to the beach, then you have your swimming suit in a bag, or if you're going to go work out, here's my exercise gear in a separate bag. And it's also really nice because especially when they get dirty, you can just pop them back in here and you just toss them in your suitcase on the way back home. A lot of people recommend those vacuum sealed bags, and you can really compress those down and really fit a lot in there. I personally don't use that because it really tends to wrinkle out my clothes, but if that doesn't bother you, go for that. And I'll also suggest, before we get into a couple of my packing tips, is take your suitcase for a test drive, especially if you are traveling overseas, maybe for 10 days or so. You want to make sure that you can haul your suitcase in and out of taxis, up and down stairs. I mean, there's nothing worse than having your suitcase just be cumbersome and not be able to lift and tote. And a prime example is I go to Fashion Week, and I typically stay with one of my sons. He lives in New York City, and he has a very tall stoop. I think there are like 20 steps in it, and I had a very big bag that I had to haul up that stoop, and I really wish, and I think that's really when I was just like, I need to be a little bit wiser on being able to maneuver my suitcase all on my own without any help. So take it for a test spin. And another tip that my mother taught me years ago was to always have a bag ready. So this is like a big cosmetic bag, but it doesn't have my makeup in it. But this has all the little travel amenities, and this is always set to go whenever I have a trip, so I don't have to be, sorting from one drawer and putting it in here. So these are all the travel size items. So I have, so this is the Venus, so this is like the shaving cream, I have that. I think that's really great. I have the Lysol. Spray that. There's germs everywhere when you travel, so I just have a little spray can of Lysol. What would we do without Tide to Go, especially when you're wearing white? I even have a Downy wrinkle releaser. This is great because your clothes do get a little wrinkly even if the best packer, you're gonna have to be fighting that, so I have that. I just bring a little scrunchie for the shower. I have my mouthwash. And a pain reliever is always really good to pack. I carry this because this is actually really good. So this is like a derivative of baking soda. So this is really, really good if you get a stain, especially oil. So I use that for stains. Then of course I just have a travel sized lotion for my legs, arms, travel sized deodorant. I always bring a sewing kit. Hotels used to be really good about keeping these on hand, and sometimes you just never know these days they'll have one. So I always have that, so a little repair. And then I do have stain removers, just the regular stain removers if my Tide to Go or my baking soda doesn't work. Of course, Altoids are really, really important to keep your breath clean, baby oil, and cotton balls, Q-tips. You can see a lot is packed in there. And I always have I just have a little travel toothbrush. I don't bring my super great Sonic ones, but I have a travel toothbrush and then a travel size toothpaste. And then makeup wipes. Oh, last but not least, a shaver. And then too, also, and so many ladies know this, but when we stock up on our cosmetics from the department store, they always give you the travel makeup, or not makeup, but the travel skincare. So I always keep that in there too. Okay, so remember when in the opener I said you wanted a suitcase that had the dividers? So this is a prime example. So this is, you can pack on either side, zip this up. This one has the compression strap so you can actually, keep your clothes in place. And then now I'm going to just show you a tip, and this is, my mom taught me this years ago, and I have really stuck with this. I know there's lots of different ways, especially like rolling. This really works well for me. So I take my pants, the longer items first, and I fold one this way, and then I'll take one another way. So I'm moving on either side, so working on opposites. So, and I keep the length just draped over the side. And I have a skirt that's kind of long, so I'm going to fold that like this, and then I'm going to put that on this side. And then a really good thing, so this is with blazers, because I typically travel with a blazer. It's just a great item to have. So I take the sleeve and I pull it inside out like this. So I have my shoulder here, and then I'm going to take it inside out and flip it over like this. So it really protects your blazer when it's inside the suitcase. And then I put the shoulders on the inside and let it drape out on the outside. So I'll come along, then I have my activewear here, and then my shoes. I always put my shoes on the outside against the edge like this. Okay, and then I flip it over. So then I'm ready to pack this up, so that I flip the long ends over, one on top of each other. And then you just take the compression strap and voila, you are packed up. And then you don't have to worry about any dirt getting on your blazer, because that's a key item that you pack. And really, I've just found through the years that this does not wrinkle my clothes as much as like rolling. I know rolling is a really big thing, and as I said, the vacuum seal. But this is my tried and true way to pack. And that's it, ladies. Short and sweet today. How to pack for a trip. On Sunday, when it's about style, I said that I would have, my travel outfits, and I'll also share what I put in my carry-on bag, because we all know that that's the most important thing, because that's with you the entire trip. So I'll see you on Sunday when when you view it, we'll actually be in Boston. So see you then. Thanks for tuning in, ladies. Bye-bye.